Alright, good morning everybody. We're playing some updated Jeskai Lotus Field today. We were talking about this a little bit yesterday. Just that March of Otherworldly Light, also a very good fit for this deck, being a powerful Chalice of the Void control list, being able to spend a lot of mana on the X cost. Nothing too crazy beyond that. We also have cut the Raugrin from the sideboard in favor of extra Chalices, extra Force, extra Wear Tears. That's largely because like Tron is just not that popular at the moment, and that was a huge part of the reason why we were playing Raugrin earlier. Welcome back to the Shark Typhoon Spikelings. I'm your gracious host, the man who's dedicated his life to bringing you joy, Aspiring Spike. Today I'm going to bring some meaning to the middle of your week with an updated version of an old classic, Jeskai Lotus Field. So enjoy this pleasant romp through the flowers as we gather more trophies from Moto Leagues. Remember to get your own prizes by buying merch from the Spikeling stores, subbing, commenting, following, and praising Clothes. Thank you, Chest, for the cold open. Thank you, Cirrus, for the 2 months. And thank you, Te, for the 14 months. Appreciate you guys. No just down on the board. Am I blind? Nope, no just down on the board. Yeah, I mean, your deck is just, like, full of creature removal in this list. You don't really need the dressed out effects as much. You also have Marches and Blood Suns for Urza Saga. It's very close. I think we have this in the back. Could maybe keep that one on the draw. We can keep this hand though. This hand needs a land, and we get to Blood Sun play our Lotus Field. Ridgebow, thank you for the 10 months. Appreciate you. How's the Nacho for race going? Put up good numbers. Well, I'm really enjoying the brewing process. I feel like I've been doing pretty well with the brews lately. Like we've had a lot of really exciting decks put together since Neon Dynasty. That's always what I love to do, you know. Red Black Rock. We'll play more Red Black Rock soon. I think we've kind of entered the. Hopefully this is not Neo brand. I think we've entered the revisiting and slightly updating more of the older decks portion of. Okay, it's the Living End. This is usually a pretty good matchup, especially post board where you have access to like 4 Chalices and Rest in Peace. Could be a little bit dicier game 1. Hopefully Blood Sun resolves. They may not fetch a response because people aren't used to playing against it. We're cut from March Teferi. 3-mana Teferi is not a card I usually like to play in this list, as multicolored 3-mana spells are kind of awkward. With the Fire Ices are mostly what get cut for the Marches. Can we update Loot Tree? Maybe, huh? Maybe. Oh no, they have Force. Force pitching Riverwinder. Alright, definitely behind right now. If they Shardless Agent, we'll Solitude and we'll exile their Waker of Waves, but we're gonna be pretty behind. Is Lutri the deck for Kaito? I guess so, yeah. Lutri, the place where all the mediocre planeswalkers go to die. Okay, so can we beat a 5/5 and a 4/4? Maybe. Our hand's definitely not looking too good, though. I think I have... as much as I would love to play Lotus Field after I have Flagstones, I think I have to Lotus Field this turn so that I can Fury next turn and kill the Curator. And like, then potentially, like, Kaheera, like, lording the Fury and Solitude is going to get me... it's going to get the job done. That's got to be the hope, at least. Okay, taking 9. Down to 11. They got 3 cards in their hand. Let's start off with a Solitude attack. Yeah, I should be talking about the new sponsor soon. Obviously, no rush. I signed the paperwork yesterday. Okay, so Kaheera lording the Fury and the Solitude definitely is a ton of pressure. That's to be attacking for 12 next turn. The problem is, of course, that like if they have a couple more cyclers and living in, we probably lose. This year is sponsored by yet to be determined. Indeed. Slide the paperwork and laugh in their face. How metrics don't matter. I can stream all the Elden Ring. That's exactly what I did. Ooh, the Valakut Awakening mirror match. Assuming they don't outburst, yeah. Well, if they outburst right now, they only get a curator, and like I think that we can probably beat the curator. Just one color away from ending. If they attack with this Riverwinder, it's also possible I should block. I get to trade here, and then if they living end, my Fury comes down, kills the curator. Interesting. Another interesting draw. Yeah, I think I like casting Kaheera and attacking with both here. I'm trying to think of if I attack with the Solitude. It's kind of close. Let's just attack with the Fury. If they want to trade, that's fine. Is my sponsor Ultimate Guard? No. I mean, also like let's not play the guessing game, but no. Yeah, Kaheera's Lord surprisingly comes up a lot in this deck. I like Techno Salt to put in the yard for second living end. Well, it just all depends on how they block, of course. Cryptic, obviously a phenomenal draw. It's like if they have a curator too, like that line ends up being worse. I wouldn't be surprised, of course, here if my opponent has a another Force blue card, but we'll just make him have it. No Force, no blue card, or maybe blue card. A bit premature to say no blue card, but they're down to 10. Super punished for waiting on the Cascade there. They played the Otawara instead of, channeling it. Does that mean they've got a 5? I don't think there are really any 5-mana creatures they can play. They've already cast Living End twice, so if they Living End here, it's really... Oh, they have 2? Okay, I didn't think that they played 2. I guess we'll just play the Kaheera again, so I'll have Lethal in play for next turn. It'll leave the Triomes in the deck to cycle, I think, at this point in the game. What did I change in the deck? We're up to 4 March of Otherworldly Light is the main change. We also we're playing our own Otawara, and the sideboard is also pretty different too. Like I'm not playing any Ragavans on the sideboard because Belcher and Tron have both fallen off pretty hard. And I don't think that you'd really want to be playing the Ragavans if you're not expecting to run into like decks like those, where like Ragavan is just like not that good against Ragavan's just not that good against Titan, which is definitely the big mana deck to beat at the moment. The Marches and Prismatic Endings are definitely pretty bad in this specific matchup, though. So we're going to be cutting all of them. I think I usually like the Nexus of Fate against Living End too, although it's kind of close. Let's submit this. I like this deck a lot. This deck has always been one of my favorites, kind of my pet deck. Got huge life breathed back into it with Modern Horizons 2. The incarnations are just so perfect for the deck. Buying you time early, being mana sinks in the late game. Wasn't Nexus in the main before? In some iterations of this deck, it's been in the main before, but the last several times we've played it, it's been in the sideboard. Tape, thank you for 6 months. Appreciate you. Very slow hand. No Chalice, no Rest in Peace, no Force. I think we have to mulligan. I mean, this has a Force. But it's... I definitely would... And, Solitude, pitching Solitude is not the worst, but... not a super strong 6-card hand. Why do you think Tron is down? Is it Rhinos just born to grind always with Hammer? I mean, it's a combination of a few different things. I actually even think that Tron is probably in a better position this week than it was last week. But But like, I don't think it has a very good matchup against Titan with Titan main decking a bunch of Besageux. We had a big argument with this yesterday, but that's my current stance. I think that's a big factor. Titan's main decking a bunch of Besageux. I think that Tron players may be just kind of scared of Besageux in general. I think they may be overly compensating, but you know, it is kind of scary to play a deck like Tron, the new card like Besageux in the format. But I also think with like Grixis Shadow doing so well last weekend, I actually think it makes a lot of sense for Tron to mount a comeback. Okay, I'm gonna jam the Blood Sun. If they Living End, it's not the end of the game. It's a Solitude. They're Curator of Mysteries. They force the Blood Sun, that's okay too. Yeah, I've been also kind of eyeing Pioneer lately. I may be getting my foray into the format soon, but with Chicago coming up, it's gonna be probably a little while before I start to play some Pioneer. Okay, we will see if we can beat the Living End again. If not, I think we've got a great chance game 3. We didn't draw any Chalices or Rest in Pieces. What event is happening in Chicago? There's a team tournament. It's apparently like somewhat small. Alright, I think I'll skip to this. I'm playing with Caleb D though. Is E-Tron just bad versus Grixis Shadow? Is Chalice not the hitter it once was? No, Chalice is very good against Grixis Shadow. But here's the thing about E-Tron. It's like, a lot of times people play E-Tron with the thought that, if I'm gonna play a Chalice deck, let's just play E-Tron. But there are there are other Chalice decks in the format. You don't have to play E-Tron. That being said, mono green, one of the best decks against Shadow is also mono green Tron. That is like they have a really mono green Tron is one of the best decks in the format against Grixis Shadow. Blue white control with Chalice is also one of the best too. Yeah, Magus is very good at the moment. I updated my Goblins list today, too, and got some Magus of the Moons in there. This hand has Force. It doesn't have a lock piece. It does have a Lotus Field plus Flagstones. Not a great hand. I think I'm going to mulligan. I think I really want to find a lock piece. Still don't have one here. It's crazy. We have 7. We have 4 Chalice, 3 Rest in Peace. We haven't seen any in 5 hands. Okay, here's both of them, though. Just had to do a little bit of complaining, huh? $65 teams have registered. Oh, I didn't realize it was that many. I thought it was a lot less. Oh, when I saw 65, I don't know why I thought it was just 65 players. Wafu complains so much about the Shadow matchup. I don't know, man. We can't have this conversation every single day, but it's like, if blue-white control is not favored against Shadow, like, you know, there's bigger problems than me being wrong about the matchup. You know what I mean? If blue-white control is unfavored against Shadow, the format has problems. Where blue-white control is a Prismatic Ending, March of Otherworldly Light, Archmage's Charm, Teferi Time Raveler, Supreme Verdict, Solitude, Chalice the Void, Rest in Peace deck. It literally plays... blue-white control is literally just a pile of cards that is good against Grixis Shadow. That's the entire deck. It's just cards that are good against Grixis Shadow. And I know that Grixis Shadow is really mana efficient, and I know that just because you have a lot of good cards, you can still lose. I understand. But, like, to say that the Shadow matchup is bad, it just doesn't make any sense to me. And if I'm wrong about... If Grixis Shadow I don't think I'm wrong, because I've played a lot of both sides of the matchup. But if I am wrong, then it's a big problem with the format itself, I think. I think I'll play the Valakut Awakening. Everyone agrees that in theory, blue-white, red, and Shadow, but people who play the matchup frequently say Shadow's favored. I have played hundreds of matches on the side of Shadow, and I have played probably like 40 or 50 matches on the side of blue-white. And like, really, my experience is that blue-white used to be a super duper heavy favorite. It used to be like 70-30, and now it's like 60-40 because Grixis Shadow plays now 5 sideboard cards for the matchup, and blue-white players just gave up.
What's up? It's me, your friend, Aspiring Spider.
Dr. Muggy, I'm a trade Kate commanded that. Good suggestion. Good suggestion. This is my take. Yeah, blue-white is definitely favored, and to be honest, I just kind of feel like they're, you know, they need to suck it up a little bit. Obviously, blue-white was a buy this 2 years ago. I mean, you're talking about completely different decks. You know what I mean? Completely different decks. What top decks? Turok is really hard to beat. Yeah, but Turok is a sideboard card too. You know what I mean? And you have counterspells for Turok. You have Supreme Verdicts for Turok. You also, like, you have a ton of cards that's really tough for Shadow to beat. You're a Chalice, Rest in Peace, Teferi, Archmage's Charm, Prismatic Ending, Solitude, March of Otherworldly light deck. It's just like, again, like, if I'm wrong about this, there's something needs to be, like, you need to make a ban in Shadow. You know what I mean? Like, the deck is actually too good and you need to ban something. If your deck is main decking, if your main deck is just a pile of all cards that are good against Shadow, Shadow is still favored in the matchup, you need to ban something in Shadow. But I don't think that that's the case. Is Lotus Field new top tier? It's a deck I've really liked a lot in the past. I think it's pretty good at the moment too. At least that's the theory. Verdict and Counterspell are medium at best. Counterspell is not good against Shadow. That is true. Verdict is incredibly good against Grixis Shadow. Verdict is one of your better cards in the matchup. Treat something with 8 months. Appreciate you. Alright. They got their Hill Giant. Am I trading Kaheera for Shardless Agent? I probably have to. We got the Fire Ices for Marches. I think that people don't add skill and evaluate matchups. Well, when I'm evaluating matchup, I'm evaluating as both players playing, you know, very well or masterfully, usually. I guess I should have played my planes just so I could pay for another dispute. But they've already used 2 disputes. So maybe holding this for Valakut Awakening is better. Can you provide any hints on changes? I've updated Red Black Rockets in the Stream Decker. I'm not low on Kolaghan's Command, but people just want me to put Kolaghan's Command in like non-synergistic decks. Or sorry, in highly synergistic decks, and Kolaghan's Command is like a really fair card that doesn't really fit. Okay, let's force this. But Kolaghan's Command is still great in red-black. It's a good card in the metagame too. It's just like you don't want to put Kolaghan's Command in like your red-black, you know, artifact synergy deck. All right. Pretty classic mold of 5. It just died to the dopey beatdowns. Although Fury Solitude will hopefully bail us out. Yeah, probably gonna lose this game if they have Subtlety. Have a good chance to win if they don't. Have I relooked at Team Rec? I have, yeah. I don't think the deck like really changes that much, and I'm not sure how well positioned it is. Oh, we rolled a 4. That's right. Yeah. Also don't have double red at the moment. It's the hexproof card. The hexproof card costs 7. Yeah, I think they've got that and they can't quite cast it. They have 5 cards in their hand though. Okay, so this turn we Solitude the Curator, and we can chump block to play around Violent Outburst, or we can not chump block. I think we have to chump block. Just too likely they have Violent Outburst. I don't think you play Boseiju in Team Iraq. You can, but the problem is like you're still a counterspell Archmage's Charm deck. That's mana is already not great. Because you're also playing Rin 6. You could maybe sideboard a Boseiju in matchups that you know you're gonna channel it a lot, but I kind of expect you not. I kind of expect it to not be great in the deck. I think if your deck's like just not interested in a land that enters untapped and taps for green, which Team Iraq really isn't, then you're not like that. You're not that incentivized to play it. Well, I mean, I think I'm not always right. Like, I really dislike the attitude that I play a lot of Modern, or I you know, I have, you know, I got a trophy record, so I'm right about everything. I like to have arguments and conversations with like points that are backed up with, you know, sources cited from the text. Like, I like people to like argue with me. I like people to make points, and I like to have these discussions because they make me better, they make you better. If you disagree with me, you're gonna be right some amount of the time. I really never want to have the attitude that I'm a Spike. You should argue with me. Oh, dude, Waker means I can't. Waker means I can't trade anymore. I think I just have to take this. Take this, find a Solitude for the Waker, and then make the trade. Okay, I guess that means we're gonna Blood Sun first here. Could also find Teferi. There's a white card for Solitude if we find it off the Memory Deluge, which we did. We did find it, so we take Solitude Deluge. And then I think I pass and try to incentivize them to attack. Heard you adding Magus to the Moon. What's the reason behind it? Titan is more popular than Tron at the moment, and Titan is also playing a lot of Boseijus to do with Blood Moon. Yeah, I kind of think that you could sideboard Boseiju in Team Iraq. Like the first one seems pretty good. I'm a little less sure about the second. Okay, we beat one Mystical Dispute. We don't beat Subtlety. No Subtlety though. What a game. Hanging on by the skin of our teeth. 2 life. They just pass. I'm scared of a Brazen Borrower. Okay, but with Cryptic Command, I don't need to be too afraid, I think. Guess we fight over this. Back to being afraid of Borrower. Nexus Teferi? Force Teferi? I think I'll take Nexus Teferi. And if they don't have a flash creature here, we should be good. They don't have it. Awesome. Can we get a Spike, Ginger, Blue, White, Grixis, Shadow, Gauntlet on stream? I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Like, I hope that you guys at least can hear my point that if I'm wrong about the Blue, White, Grixis, Shadow matchup, like the format has problems. The format has big problems if that's the case. And I don't in my experience it hasn't been the case, but so if I plus here, can I Nexus and Cryptic? I don't think so. 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I'm a little short, so let me just actually minus on the Curator so I can hold a Cryptic. I just don't think it's blue-white favor. Yeah, that's fine. Like that seems to be a pretty common opinion that Shadow is favored against blue-white. And I hope that you I think that if you think that, you should be rooting hard for like a Luris ban or something banned from Shadow. But again, I've also played a lot of both sides of the matchup. Probably just hold the Canal for oh, you know what? Let me actually get another Teferi with just higher loyalty in play. We also can't talk about this every single day. Okay, it looks like we're gonna narrowly escape death this game. I'm definitely eyeing this Valakut Awakening that I can bounce with my Cryptic. I think I'm gonna get a little greedy, just do that now. Obviously I could get mega punished if they have Borrower and I don't find anything, but look how many cards I get to see. Yeah. Just so unlikely that we find nothing off like the 7 cards. I guess I get to Valakut Awakening again. My hand's pretty good though, so I'll just put back the Steam Vents and the Teferi. Call me crazy, but a Furious Solitude a problem preventing mid-range decks from being playable. Mid-range decks are more playable now in Modern than they've been in years and years and years. Usually when someone says mid-range isn't playable, that means my Boomer Jun deck is not that good right now. But I think that I can't remember any time in Modern's history that there's been more viable mid-range decks. There are Omnath variants, there are Rakdos variants, there are Jund variants. You know, it's just there's you know, like, what do you mean by mid-range? Yeah, Solitude and Fury are not that good against a lot of mid-range decks too. Yeah, a lot of these like artifact decks I've been brewing too. Like I very much consider them to be mid-range decks. Yeah, Boomer Jund is also fine. Like Boomer Jund is also like way better now than it's been in a long time. But usually that's what that means though. Usually extra white card is making mid-range unviable is code for my Boomer. I don't believe my Boomer Jund list is well positioned, but Boomer Jund is fine at the moment. Boomer Jund is a truly fine deck. Is he Shadow a mid-range deck? I don't know. You could consider Shadow to be a mid-range deck. I would usually consider it to be a more of an aggro deck. Tempo control. Yeah, Shadow's its own archetype. But you know what I mean? Hold Awakening for Teferi Ultimate. I mean, as like fun as that is, like you should just cast the Awakening now. You win as soon as the Teferi Ultimates. Oh, I get to take an extra turn here, right? I mean, obviously, like, nuking their board's pretty exciting, but I think you're just supposed to keep sculpting your hand. And also remember, with the Nexus of Fate in our deck, we can't deck ourselves. Truly an elegant win. Remember, we mulled to 4 this game. Nexus gone for rip. No, Nexus has its own replacement effect. We've cast Nexus twice this game. But yeah, Nexus does get shuffled back into your deck, even with the rest in peace in play. Okay, what is this? Wind Caller Aven. Do they play Force of Vigor? Sometimes. I think. Roku, thank you for the 4 months. Back for my monthly Jingo. Hell yeah. But this time it works. Sorry it didn't work last time. Wait, did I guess did I have another turn floating that I didn't realize? I guess so. Don't remember having another turn floating though. I guess I could like Chalice on 4, but kind of in garbage time. We aim at second emblem. Bit ambitious. This deck is just always such a treat. We got a little burned out on it. In the middle of the trophy race, we played so much of it for like 2 weeks straight, but this deck is just such a treat. Chalice on 8. They'd probably concede to be tapping all that mana. They're currently conceding right now, but they're conceding in style. March over for the last list. Fire Ice. Fire Ice has always been a flex spot. March is also just like, I've been so impressed by that card. Just continue to just really, really, really be impressed by March. That may just be a dream though. Okay, we're playing against the Lurrus deck. We've got Chalice in the play. Definitely gonna keep. Ordinary Hands, thank you for the tier 1. Appreciate you. If I start playing Pioneer, will I be streaming it? So my plan is to dip my toes into Pioneer off stream and then evaluate. Where I really don't ever want to stream, if I'm playing Magic, to be Spike tries this for the first time, you know? With the exception of like when a new set comes out, that's fine. That's what we're gonna be doing. We're gonna be playing cards for the first time. But like if something has like been out for a while and there's other people that are experts of the format that you could be watching, I would rather like you feel comfortable coming here and like knowing that I've put the time and effort in to like learn the format, you know? That I've put the time in to innovate on something, to try something new. I don't want, you know, you guys to have to be here for the boring part of just the playtesting, you know what I mean? This matchup's really weird. We do have the Nexus in the sideboard. Winning game 1 would be a big deal. So my plan is to play Pioneer, see how I feel about it. They feel to ruin this. I actually can't Blood Sun. Don't have a mountain in the deck. They Prismatic Ending the Chalice though. And then they Lantern. Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna playtest Pioneer decks, Pioneer Brews, existing decks, get a feel for the format, then decide if I want to be streaming it, and go from there. Yeah. The exception for that is like when something is new. Like if there's a new format, like nobody knows what's going on. Like with Neon Dynasty, like it's all been new stuff for a long time. And it's like, it's not like reasonable to expect me to play like 20 hours off stream every night, mastering the format far before anybody else does, you know? Just a bit different, I feel. Ooh, great draw. But for something like Pioneer, that's been out for a long time, there's been a lot of people working on it, I would want to just like if I'm gonna show off Pioneer, we're gonna show it off. We're gonna actually learn it, you know? Thank you, sweetheart. Love you. You're the queen of the stream. I am not maidenless anymore. Alright, love that they played the Lurrus into the Solitude, of course. Love to draw a Memory Deluge. What? Are you trying to Athena? Old Border Ending? Yeah, I was complaining about the fact that there were no Old Border Endings available on Magic Online yesterday, and then I mysteriously received some in my collection. I really hope they become available in Chess 2 soon. I feel a bit bad having them, but boy are they sick. I guess I will just attack and flashback the Deluge. Jacked Unicorn, still a great username. Welcome back for the 4 months. You got the pinnings from where? A WotC employee put them in my account after watching the stream yesterday, and I was lamenting the fact that you couldn't buy them. So, quite the flex, huh? Quite the flex. Okay, can't cut their fetch. In other news, the modern format is doing well, and no changes need to happen. Lurrus actually should stay legal for forever, maybe. Lurrus should actually just stay legal, actually. Completely unrelated to, you know, the matchup where you want to sight up the marches. Completely unrelated to any endings entering them to my collection. think I'll play two. I think I'll play 62 or 62 cards. 4 Solitude, 4 Fury. Oh no, Fury's better than Solitude in this matchup. Kind of light on win conditions. It's probably fine. Got Kaheera. Recipes for Surgical. Yeah, it's like the only card that it stops though. So I think I just want one. Against blue-white compared to blue-black. How has March been so far compared to Ending? It's really different, right? Like, you know, one of the biggest thing for March is that March answers two main problems in the format that Ending misses. March hits Urza Saga and Dashed Ragavan, and that is just huge. Let's keep this. That is like such a big deal. Ending is also like, and March being instant speed in your control deck is also super relevant in general. March also like costs 1 more mana than Ending when you're not exiling a card, but if you are exiling a card, it costs 1 less than Ending. And I found a lot of times, especially in these control decks, like you are ahead on cards and you're behind on board is a pretty common place to be in a control deck. Ahead on board or behind on board, ahead on cards. And March is just like a pretty good way to catch back up on board when you're ahead on cards. Too much mana for fewer land decks? Well, I don't know. I know that Death in Texas has been playing March and really liking it, but that's also like a bit of an exception since Death in Texas is a deck that is monocolored, so it doesn't really want Ending anyways. Yeah, opponent's playing blue-white mill. We need to find a land pretty badly. What is this? March my Chalice. March is everywhere, huh? 4 March in control decks. I've been playing 4 March. I think 4 March is definitely correct in Bant. It also makes a lot of sense in Jeskai Lotus Field, in my opinion, where Jeskai Lotus Field is a deck that gets to pay a lot of mana for the X, is interested in dealing with a wide array of permanents. I think it makes a lot of sense to me here. I think I'm gonna tank this. So this turns off their fetches and their Field of Ruins. They have 2 cards in their hand. Lurrus is one of them now. Let's play Chalice on 1. Oh yeah, they did hit 3 Lotus Fields. Brutal. Okay, so this is just a draw 1, so I'm not going to force. There's Lurrus Mystery card that is not a land, presumably. I think I'm just flashing back Deluge. I don't feel like a big urge to rest in peace, especially when I've got, you know, all these Deluges. Would March be good in blue-white Stoneblade listless testing? Yeah, I think so. So I know I said that I was going to playtest Esper Kaito Stoneblade again last night. I didn't, but I did update the list. I put Marches in there, and I think it did end up looking better, but I'm still working on that list, to be honest. But looks kind of good. Maybe we can find the 4th Lotus Field. No, we can find another Chalice and a Plains. What is this? Last card is Visions of Beyond. Fuck. I now have exactly 20 cards. Well, good beats. Yeah, I think I killed a crab this turn. I Solitude the Lurrus. I know they gained 3 life, but I think that's going to be okay. Notably, if we can get 2 more mana, then we do get to take infinite turns with our Nexus, but we do need a threat too, so hopefully the Solitude survives. Daniel, you should raise your mana curve with a card advantage engine. Genius suggestion, genius suggestion. I will take it into consideration. Okay, pretty sure I'm going to upkeep the Solitude here. Yeah, Chalice still working. Yeah, really unhappy to see that counterspell. They only have 3 cards in their hand, though. It did seem like the Chalice. Does seem like the Chalice is getting them. We have an ending for the Luris at least, but red, blue, white. Do you need to get something going? Need to find a Teferi. I think I still have all 4 Teferis in the deck. No, I only have 2. Sorry. I only have 1. Okay, never mind. Never mind. 26 cards left in our library, but we find the last Lotus Field. I think I'm actually just gonna Kaheera here. Get that pressure. And now what's great about Lotus, what's amazing about the last Lotus Field, what's amazing top deck, is I have a Nexus of Fate in my deck. So now if my opponent decks me, I just take infinite turns. Okay, exile my ending. Or exile my Chalice. They can't crack their fetches though because of the Blood Sun, at least. Might I suggest a 3-mana card engine that you have to untap with? I'm listening. Okay, let's play. Yeah, easy Fury, hold up Force. It's a lot more pressure. Unless they Tasha's. That's true, yeah. Tasha's could exile the Nexus. They may slide out Tasha's against me, though. I have so many 5-drops. Yeah, Nexus does get around Rest in Peace. Second time today, that's come up. Fury cuts a turn off my clock, right? Alright, no Supreme Verdict, please. I will cry if they Supreme Verdict. Oh, no, it doesn't. Sorry, I thought they were at 1 more life. So I didn't even need to cast it. I mean, this is good against the removal spell, though. I think I have to counter that. Alright. They did leave in Tasha's, but we're 2-0. Beating Living End and Mill. Yeah, definitely excited to see some of you guys in Chicago. They revealed a Yorion the Sky Nomad. Some of you guys I'm excited to see. I think I'll put back the Fury on the mulligan. Who's my team? I'm teaming with Caleb D and then Zach Allen. It's a split format team event, so I'm in the modern seat. I think I'm playing Bant Control. I need to do an inventory tonight and see what cards I'm missing. I think I'm missing like 2 Jaces and a Yorion. And the Marches. I have the Otawara at least. And then Caleb was playing Sealed. Caleb, I didn't notice about Caleb, but he has got a like amazing lifetime win record in Sealed. Oh, this is a little bit of rust here, but I was supposed to play Flagstones this turn. I know it might look a little unintuitive, but with Bloodsun in hand, Bloodsun turns off Flagstone's ability. If I played, I should have played the Flagstones here. So if I draw another Flagstones, I get to not have the second Flagstones be awkward. But at the very least, if I do draw another Flagstones, I've got Awakening to shuffle away, I guess. Okay, just gonna jam the Bloodsun. Is Bant a meta call, or is it just that powerful? I mean, a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. I think it is good against all 4 of the decks I expect to be the most popular. And I've also in my last 4 leagues I've played, I played a league off stream last night. In the last 4 leagues I've played with the deck, I am 18-2. So I feel like it honestly would be a little silly to play anything else. I've been just loving it in the metagame. What exactly is Sealed? So Sealed is a limited format. If you know what drafting is, it's a different way to play limited as opposed to draft. What you do is you open up 6 booster packs and then you build a deck from those 6 booster packs. 40 card deck. And then you are provided basic lands in addition, of course. If we chat Elden Ring, we can only if we chat Chicago, we can only chat about Elden Ring deal. Is it just Neo Sealed? Yeah, the sealed format that Caleb was playing is Neo Sealed. Okay, so they play Heath, or they exile Heath, but they can't sack it because of Blood Sun, so they play the they're mounted instead. Interesting. I'm going to main phase Valakut Awakening. I would love to find a Lotus Field. I'm going to get a little greedy. Put back the plains. We're a 26 land deck. It's, yeah. Greed is good, huh? Yeah, this matchup has always been pretty good too. I think Lotus Field is maybe a very good choice too. I'll probably play Band Control at the energy, but I like the Lotus Field deck a lot. Definitely a good matchup for Nexus. Not a great matchup for Chalice. I also don't think this is another matchup where I don't want that many marches. I think I'll be like 1 march for Force of Negation. Maybe 4 Force is a lot, but it's also true like Teferi is just such a pain. Maybe I'll play 2 marches, 3 Force. Kind of a little bit more comfortable with this. Let's do this. Super Falcon 3 months, still going strong. Hell yeah. Is the energy event just at the store at Buffalo Grove? I don't know. Oh, it's at the Hilton. It's at a Hilton hotel. I looked it up last night. I don't know exactly where. Do you have old border endings of paper? Yeah, I have I think I've etched foil old border ones. I might also have regular ones too. I may have bought a playset of each. Doubletree and Mundaline. That's the Hilton, right? I don't know. Maybe it's not. I'll have to double check. Am I going to MPLS? I don't expect to go to any other energy events besides the Chicago one. I've heard a lot of good things about the tournament series, but it's really inconvenient for me to go up north for these tournaments. It's inconvenient and kind of expensive. Chimbu for 2 months, and yeah, it's kind of inconvenient, kind of expensive. But and I also have like multiple paper tournaments in my area coming up too. The Hunter Burton and then the SEG Open in Dallas. Okay, let's keep this. It is kind of wild how many paper tournaments there are now. Like, they're kind of coming back. I don't know. Chimbu, think of it 2 months again. I like Minneapolis, though. I was there. I played PT Minneapolis, and that was a really fun event. Oh, you know what? I probably should have held the Awakening and just gone Flagstones and then get my second red source off the Flagstones. Yeah, a little mistake. That's all for profit, not because it's safer. I mean, yeah. I don't know. Like, it's a little safer. Omicron's not as bad as it was, and I don't know. You can definitely debate the merits and demerits of rehosting these tournaments. They're definitely smarter people to answer your questions than me, though. At least personally, I feel pretty comfortable going. You know, I'm vax boosted. I also had the Omicron earlier this year. Full protection for at least this part of the year. And interested in Saheeli Cat Blade and the latest 5-0 dump. I don't really look at the 5-0 dumps that closely, to be honest. I know a lot of people might be surprised to hear that. But I don't know. It's just like, listen, I've played plenty of Saheeli. Do I have to exile the Rin in 6? I really don't want to. Exile the Teferi. Listen, I've played plenty of Saheeli, okay? I've played Saheeli Stoneblade. Unfortunately, I really don't believe in the archetype. And it's cool that it 5-0'd. I still like don't expect the deck to be good. Do I plan on backpack streaming the event? So I was planning on doing it, and then I heard that there was online coverage. So my current plan is probably not at the moment, especially because I just like, I don't know. I've been pretty swamped. I've been pretty overwhelmed. Like, you know, yesterday I got up at 7 and I quit working on stuff at like 10 p.m. and like I'm gonna have another day like that tonight or Thursday. It's just tough to like also like prep the stream stuff too. Maybe I'll do it for the Hunter Burton. But I think at the time of making this comment, I'm probably just not gonna stream it. Natasha, thank you for the 21 months. Appreciate you. I think we should Awakening here. Try to find a Blood Sun. But I mean, we're probably kind of toast anyways, to be honest. We did find a Blood Sun. We also found a Fury. I think I'm going to high roll a little bit and cast the Blood Sun and hope to find a red card for Fury. Didn't. So now they get to Rimblum, exile the Blood Sun. They only have 4 cards. I think Strict Proctor is pretty bad. Vulnerable to removal. Doesn't cantrip like Blood Sun does. Doesn't interact with your opponent's permanents as well as Blood Sun does. I know it's 2 mana instead of 3 though. If someone 5-0s, how likely are they to show up in a deck dumps? It's very you just do get the. You get to show up if your 5-0 is like a really unique deck list. We're super dead to that. I guess I can kill that Ren and 6 with Fury. Maybe not. Can we ever beat a Rimblum? Yeah, we can. Like, or at least a Rimblum is like much more beatable without an active Ren. The second Ren makes it a lot scarier. 10 unique cards for their 5-0s. Yeah, I'm not sure how like accurate that is though, to be honest. Alright, let me look at these prismatic endings. Very accurate. It's very accurate. They actually post all of the spicy lists. They don't keep any of them. I don't know. Prospector gets a lot of unintended value against opponents. You might be right. I mean, but Blood Sun is also like incredible right now in the Urza Saga metagame, Urza Saga Titan metagame. You might be right. I would also like much rather have my enabler be an enchantment than a 1/3 creature too. And I don't think that you really want like you like with Flagstones and Blood Sun are enough enablers for Lotus Field. Like you don't really need the Prospector in addition to them. In my opinion. So now they have a retraceable expressive iteration. It's gonna be tough, huh? I need to kill this Teferi so badly. I think I probably have to wait. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Kind of out of the frying pan, still in the fire a little bit. I think I just pass. Try to Fury, kill Teferi, Ice Fang next turn. They go like Teferi, untap 2 Lotus Fields. Does this deck get a lot worse because of Beseiju? I don't really think so. Like, I don't play against very many Besejus. Obviously, like, if my opponent Beseijus my Lotus Fields here, it's bad. But I just don't think it's going to happen that often. And when it does happen, it's, you know... If you Blood Sun, it's not the end of the world. I feel like being in the fire is worse than the frying pan. Yeah, so this is... We had this conversation before. So the phrase, out of the frying pan, into the fire, is an expression... that I learned from The Hobbit. Apparently it's from something else. I can't remember. This was I was told. But I learned the expression when I was a kid reading The Hobbit, and the expression is apparently supposed to mean we got through this one ordeal, but now this worse ordeal is coming up, and oh no, and that's that's exactly what it means. Okay. And but when I was a kid, I interpreted it as, oh, we're done with the frying pan. Now we just have to get through the fire, and we'll be okay after that. Is how I interpreted it as a kid. Were they playing Magus? Magus is disgusting. You should be ashamed of yourself, opponent. It's a very common saying. Yeah, I just encountered it first from The Hobbit. I didn't realize it was a common saying. Is it possible to run Sanctifier on the board instead of Rip and Blue-White? Since you lose Kaheera post-board? It's not about that. It's like Rest in Peace, like... I feel like living it is popular, and Rest in Peace is so much... is infinitely... like, it's very good against living in. Sanctifier is not good. And double white on turn 2 is not that easy. But if you blue-white players really think the Grixis Shadow matchup is that bad, you can play Sanctifier, I guess. If you guys are really just that hard-pressed. Okay, so we have to Fury the Magus. Oh, no! No! I needed to play the Lotus Field first! What a huge punt. A huge, huge punt. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I realized a second too late. Yeah, with playing the Lotus Field first, we had such a better chance of getting out of this. Like, we could, you know, cast Nexus if we drew it here. Flashback, Memory Deluge. That's a very good draw, though. So we need to kill Teferi and the Ice Fang, but most importantly, we get to untap our Lotus Fields. Winning the game through the Rimblem would be pretty cool. It's still not very likely. No counter tap. Stupid Veil Summer. I think I'll concede. They could find a damage. Big Oofta, think of the 9 months. Appreciate you. Toxic Advantage, can I pet your dog for my dog? I will. The first thing I do every morning is pet Athena. Thought it was worth seeing another draw. I think it was really likely with the Rimblem and the Expressive Iteration that my opponent couldn't find a damage. Maybe you're right, though. I was kind of off of it. Does Athena wake me up? No, she sleeps in usually. Yeah. I know that. I know we would have Force up as well. Oh no, we wouldn't have. Yeah, we would have. Yeah. Oops. We're gonna play Band Control today. I don't know. I've been playing a decent amount lately. That's a really hard deck to play nonstop. It's not currently in the plan. You know we tapped their guys. Oh, sorry. I thought that the Veil of Summer. No. Veil of Summer. No, we don't tap their guys. Veil of Summer counters the Cryptic Command, right? The Cryptic Command only had one target, which was the counter target to Teferi. That target is not a legal target anymore because Veil of Summer, and then the other half of Cryptic Command doesn't resolve. They were tapped. Cryptic isn't countered. Oh, okay. Yeah, that was my confusion then. That's right. Veil of Summer, it doesn't give your spell hexproof. Fair enough. Meddling Mage, huh? Cool to see the Eladamri's Call version. Less cool to get my Bloodsun Meddling Mage though. Mono Purple Temple, the 12 months. Appreciate you. Happy anniversary to you too. Not a great awakening. Maybe supposed to play a Bloodsun or Lotus Field that turn. I think I'm gonna still wait. Can I explain why no Force of Negation? We have Force of Negation in the deck. I have 4 Force on the side. Might put back Flagstones. I mean, we're pretty likely to hit more lands. I know that Flagstones is like a very good land to hit, but it felt pretty replaceable to me. So no fourth land for my opponent. Yeah, maybe Chalice is better than I gave it credit for because of Veil. Not sure, like how, like I'm not sure that this version is playing Ragavan though. They're playing all these Eladamri's calls. Good play, good play. Reason for playing Flagstone without stuff like Cleansing Wildfire? Well, you do have stuff like Cleansing Wildfire. Lotus Field is like Cleansing Wildfire. I think I'm exiling the Meddling Mage. No, I don't have the Blood Sun. Oh my gosh. Let's go. No. Stop. Oh, they're just fetching to not get Blood Sunned. They might have like March of Otherworldly Light though. So my opponent has 3 cards in their hand. Next turn I can go Teferi into Nexus, right? Yes. So that's where I'm going to put my eggs in. Or that's the basket I'm going to put my eggs in. Okay, I'm pretty sure I play Kaheera pre-combat. Attack with a Solitude. Don't think that they're going to trade. Well, I traded. I'm going to play Blood Sun. Then trading is okay. I got a lot of mana. I got a block. Got some instants up. No, I don't think I've ever accidentally sacked my Lotus Field to itself. It may have happened though. Okay, let's march the Endurance. And then we can Deluge end of turn. Ephemerate, that's okay. What do you like about my Bant choice versus red splashing for any Omnath variant? This is a question I get a lot, but I think people don't understand that the Omnath decks that are popular, or like the Omnath decks that you see are very different from the Bant deck, where like this Omnath deck is not like a that counter or a control deck full of creature removal and counter spells. It's a proactive deck full of like value spells and efficient threats, you know? Like I think people get a little lost in the sauce because it's Bant, but like really it's blue-white control splashing green. And what's to like about that deck is the oh boy. What's to like about that deck is the getting to play like your robust counter spell package, backed up by great creature removal, great card advantage. It's a different archetype from the Omnath decks that are popular. And I know it's just like a color different, but I think that's a question I've gotten before, and I think it's just kind of easy to get a little lost in the sauce. Yeah, this matchup's pretty good usually. Do you feel like the 4-color deck should be playing March? Feels like you're eschewing consistency for power. I mean, March is a really, really good card. It's definitely an option for them. Yeah, this Lotus Field is a wild deck, dude. You get some crazy games out of it. How did I get the border endings? I was complaining about them on stream yesterday, and then a WotC employee put them into my account. And then also I have to read a script every 30 minutes saying that Luris is actually okay and shouldn't be banned in Modern, which is a small price to pay for old border endings. Okay, I'll keep this put back in Awakening.
What's up? It's me, your friend's Firing Spike.
Is March just better than Ending? No, no, it's not just better. Both cards are good. Yeah, I'm also surprised. Like, March is definitely a hard card to evaluate, and like a big like point for March is that March hits, you know, two incredibly relevant cards that Prismatic Ending misses: Dash Ragavan and Urza Saga, and like being able to hit like the hitting like those are like Prismatic Ending's like two biggest blind spots besides like Primeval Titan or maybe Murktide Regent. I guess you still miss those. So they're gonna go Hammer, equip Hammer next turn, and my Solitudes are really not gonna save me. Also hits Croxa, and both of them hit Croxa. Guess I'm just gonna Chalice at one still. Yeah, it would have been really nice to be able to play this game. Yeah, I'm not sure what my plan is. I think my plan is actually just draw a white card. Draw a white card, Kaheera in hand. Then next turn, take 11 this turn. The next turn, Solitude, and then try to stabilize after that. Yeah. March like theoretically can hit Murktide. We actually one mana marched to Gristlebrand the other day. Oh, that also works. Okay, so we go Kaheera in hand. Fury, kill, Paladin, Sentinel, I think. Then Solitude the Ornithopter. And hope this Chalice holds. Lure us into the hand, which can get back their Paladin. Hopefully they don't have an untapped land. Dead to an untapped land. Bummer. I think this is a pretty good matchup though. It's not bad game one, and then on sideboard we get 4 Wear Tear and then the full 4 Chalice. Usually I want to trim on Deluge, Cryptic Teferi. I also used to trim on Fire Ices in this matchup. Things are definitely a little different now. I may be just cutting all the Cryptics. It's probably fine. Make it go down to like 3 Chalice in the draw. Spike plays low curve artifact affinity decks for 2 weeks with no plans to play around Chalice, then plays Chalice. I mean, I'm just trying to, you know, you gotta make the content. You gotta plan ahead. How often does pitching white cards reduce mana March's costs come up? I would say that like definitely less than half the time you cast March, but when it comes up, it's like really nice. Like especially in control decks where. In control decks, you're often ahead on cards, but behind on board, right? And the ability to, like, you know, sacrifice cards to catch back up on board is really, really nice for a control deck. Okay, let's keep this. I think we're playing the Awakening on 1. It's kind of close. I really want this 3rd land to play Bloodsun, though. The new Hideaway art? I haven't seen those. Oh no, I've had Chrome open this whole time. My poor RAM. I didn't see this. It is really cool. Yeah, Neon Dynasty has been one of my favorite sets in a long time. I really like. This is like why did we get 2 Innistrad sets and only 1 Kamigawa set? I would have loved, I would have loved the double set to have been the Neon Dynasty instead. I think I'm gonna exile that Springleaf Drum. Hey, Fleet. Oh, well, guess that was a bad time to cast it. Where it says one Kami set was already hard sell. Well, they did a really good job with it. They did a really good job with it. Okay, I think with them missing lands, my hand being so strong, we'll just take the 2 for 2 here. Yeah, I never played any of the original Kamigawa sets, but like as someone who never actually played during that era, didn't experience the standard environments, didn't experience the limited environments, I've always thought Kamigawa was a really cool plane. I've always thought Kamigawa was a really cool plane. Oh, that's rough. Yeah, we'll play the Lotus Field so we can play Teferi next turn if we draw a land. Any land besides Triome, I guess. Like a lot of like very cool, flavorful cards. Just like Blood Moon, Blood Sun kills Urza Saga. Yeah, what's the next set to release? Does anybody know? Next set, it's the Streets of New Capernia. That one. That one is the one I'm like probably the most skeptical of. And what's weird is like, so it's like warring demon factions, right? That's the gimmick of this set. And I just like very recently like finished a 4-year-long D&D campaign where like there was like a big interplanar war with like lots of like infernal and abyssal factions, and it was like very interesting. So I feel like I should be the target audience for this, but I feel like this one could be a big miss. We'll see what happens. But I'm hopeful, obviously. I think they've been doing a pretty good job with the sets lately. I'm trying to remember like the last time I really didn't like a set. It's been a while. Best draw in the deck. Yeah, then we'll also get our Triomes for sure this time. For sure we'll get them. How could we not get them? AFR. I personally really liked AFR. I know that AFR was like generally not well received, but I actually really liked it. But I was also definitely the target audience for that. Yeah, for sure we'll get the Triomes. Maybe if I could, I think that the Triomes are actually on the backside of my old border prismatic endings. But we just can't quite see them. But these are the key to everything. All of Wizard's secrets are right in here, inside the old border prismatic endings. Have we got an answer? I mean, they were given to me by a WotC employee who was watching the stream yesterday when I was complaining that you couldn't buy these. That these aren't in treasure chests. They should be. Please put them in treasure chests. I don't want to be the only one with these. Please put them in chests. I think there's a lot of demand for these. There's so many other tap lands. Why fast lands over shocks? Fast lands are great in this deck, right? So, if you just naturally play a Lotus Field, you're sacrificing your lands, so your fast lands enter untapped, and if Blood Sun is in play, your fast lands also enter untapped. So they will enter tapped sometimes, of course, but you have a lot of ways to make them enter untapped, and it's also true that without fetch lands in this deck, you don't need like as many fetchable targets. Your only like real fetch lands are your flagstones. Do you have a list for bank control? Yeah, you can find my bank control list on both Twitter and the Stream Decker. I'm 18-2 in my last 4 leagues with the deck. And I also recorded a video for Channel Fireball last night. That should be up sometime. Sometime. Let's keep this. Let's put back the Otawara. Pretty good hand against Hammer. It's very good against Murktide Shadow. No, I don't think it's good. It's, you know, it's fine. It's not an embarrassing card, but if you have better options, it's usually a card I like to side out in those matchups. I enjoy Fruit. Thank you for the 9 months. Appreciate you. It's been 30 minutes. Oh, yeah, the Luris is still fine. Also, the people who manage the modern ban lists are doing a great job. No changes needed. Okay, so probably ending the 8 on turn 1 here. Very notably, March of Otherworldly Light could actually exile Inkmoth Nexus, which is a big thing that ending can't do. What would be a good answer to Chalice Mono Blue Affinity? Just like conceding, or casting a Nettle Sister Urza Saga. Yeah, your answer to Chalice is Nettle Sister Urza Saga killing them. But yeah, you're gonna lose a lot of the time. Also, they grab a copy of the Reality Chip. Pretty scary. What are we doing here? I don't really want to commit the Chalice. I might march the chip pitching Solitude and then paying for Sentinel. Yeah, but it's also like you're a mono blue deck. You know, you don't have any ways to destroy artifacts. You could play Karn the Great Creator, I guess, but just like, I don't know, just lose, man. You never played an affinity deck and lost to hate cards. Chalice 1. The problem with Chalice 1 is they get to draw off Sentinel, and they also have Stoneforge Mystic, so Stoneforge Mystic is going to allow them to get through the Chalice 1 like somewhat easily. Why not Solitude pitch March? Because then they just get to Reality Chip me. Reality Chip is the best card in Modern. I've never beaten it once. We're pretty toast to it. Why not pitch March for Solitude? What am I exiling with the Solitude? This is my question to you. I think here what I'm doing is Kaheera in hand. Then I'll Solitude whatever they attach the chip to. Make them commit their mana. Or I guess I'll just Solitude the chip itself, actually. Oh, I would Solitude the chip. That's what you guys are saying. Yeah. That makes... I understand what you're asking now. I forgot that you can actually... that this is a creature. Mm-hmm. That's what we'll do. I'd love to draw a red source next turn to play Blood Sun. Otherwise, we could Lotus Field sack the Flagstones. Yeah. Yeah, sorry. I forgot that you can exile the chip itself. Okay, so we have Blood Sun, March as both answers to Saga. We don't know what their last card is. Always feels good to answer 2 turns worth of mana for 0 mana. 3 turns, kind of, with the Stoneforge tutoring it. Don't Blacksmith skill me. Okay, cool. No, I'm just memeing about Reality Chip. It's been kind of meme to death at this point. I've much preferred to play the Blood Sun this turn, but not a bad turn overall, I guess. So 2 cards in their hand. Our best draw is Fury. Pretty sure I just played the Teferi. I know I let them draw a card, which is kind of dangerous, but unlikely that they can kill it next turn. I had a few draws that I could play off the Teferi. I didn't find one, though. This is the turn where we have to hold the line. Hope that they can't equip a hammer. They have Luris, 4 other cards. We still need some help, but we get to draw a few cards next turn, obviously. Seal of Cleansing, huh? Interesting. March is pretty interesting, too. Let's fucking go. I'll take the best possible, I guess. We'll take it. Chalice on 0. I could play the first Chalice on 0 here, yeah. Think March over a Chalice and 3 Fire Ice is just a generic good upgrade? Or is it a meta decision? I mean, with control decks, it's always a meta decision. Like, Urza Saga is more popular in Modern now than it's ever been. And main decking for March, even when you have 4 Bloodstone, has been very good. But March is also, I think, a generically good card, too. It's not like you're really sacrificing a lot of power. I don't think Fire Ice is, like, that crazy good at the moment. But things can change. Things often change. Yeah, a lot of people, I still get people saying Fury doesn't have Flash? question mark from time to time. Okay, but could you imagine? Yeah, March being instant is also just pretty relevant. I guess we'll Deluge first. Take Awakening, Flagstones. I mean, the thing about like playing Blood Sun or Chalice here is that my opponent just has Seal of Cleansing in play. So I think I would actually just prefer to Awakening and try to find like a Wear Tear or Solitude white card as a way to not die to the Ornithopter. Fury is also a way to not die to the Ornithopter. I get to hold up either March or Deluge. That was a nutty, that was a nutty Valakut Awakening. Yeah, you should also make a Fury have Uro's text too. A Furo. With Flash. Couldn't you drop 2 Chalice for 1? That's not that good against the Stoneforge Mystic necessarily. If they have Pierced up Paladin, I could lose. Oh, I guess I've got the blocker for the Paladin creature. I think this was better. Definitely worked out better. Obviously, I definitely hit the nuts. But I had so many good cards to hit there, too. I have 5 lands. Okay, doesn't really do anything. It stops me from evoking my incarnations, I guess. Embarrassing draws, just too strong. We've already had 1 Fury, yes, but what about second Fury? Sheesh, or is this third? It's third Fury. Third Fury. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, this is not an Uro. This is not Furo. Doesn't gain you 3 life. Lets you put a land into play. Kind of bad, to be honest. Opponent's pausing, prolonging their fate here, but it's futile. Okay, we are 4-0. Yesterday, we trophied our first league with our Bant control deck. Will we trophy our first league today with our Jeskai control deck? Modern, they have that at the retirement homes, right? That's pretty close. Opponent did not reveal a companion. We're on the draw. I was seen 12 days ago playing Eldrazi Tron. I think we're gonna mulligan. Put back Fury. Still playing Eldrazi Tron. Thankfully, we have an ending for their turn 1 expedition map. This Bloodshed Shutdown Beseiju does not know. For a reason, I told myself I played Sekiro for Elden Ring. I just killed Genichiro last night. Awesome. Yeah, that fight's really good. Yeah, I played Sekiro for the first time not that long ago. I really, really like the game. I think it's actually like my favorite FromSoft game, even though it's the one I've played the least. I also haven't finished Demon Souls or Bloodborne yet. But I really, really like Sekiro. G2, thank you for the 6 months. Appreciate ya. This matchup's fine. It's been a while since I've played it. I've actually heard a lot of good things about Pioneer lately. I am somewhat interested in returning to Pioneer soon. Okay, so we can get Kaheera, which maybe lets us march to Thought-Knot Seer next turn, and maybe we just Deluge next turn. Yeah, I've kind of heard nothing but good things about Pioneer lately. I think it was Deluge. Alright, pretty easy choices off the Deluge here. I think I'll Solitude now. Keep my life total nice and high. G2, did I thank you for your subscription? I think I did. Either way, thank you again. Pioneer sucks. Well, good to hear another dissenting opinion. I haven't played it in a long time. I don't really know. It might. But it's also like people enjoy different things, right? People enjoy different things with the formats. I watched Doomwake play a little bit of mono green Planeswalkers last night. Would have been stuck on 3 lands for a while now. Everybody in the chat wants me to bounce a temple and draw a card. I think I'm not going to this turn, but I know every single one of you wants me to. Let's wait on the Blood Sun too. Just hold up Cryptic, Solitude, March. Are they revisiting Eldrazi lore anytime soon? I kind of hope so, because I remember like when they were on... The last time they were on Zendikar, right? Ugin was like, no, you can't kill the Titans. This is going to have unforeseen consequences, because these aren't really the Titans. These are just their manifestations, their physical forms. And then nothing happened. It was all fine. So, maybe Ugin was old and out of touch, but I'm just kind of waiting for any real consequences to happen. But then they just did the same thing to Emrakul too. They just like ate him with zombies, which was weird. Yeah, shut up, Ugin. I'm just gonna blast them with lava. Which is, you know, seemed like it worked. Well, if my opponent minuses the card, I just get to kill with Solitude. Yeah, I don't think I mind too much about this. Carl, 2 months, appreciate you. So plus the Karn. Let's go Awakening. Put back the white removal spells, I think. The Brothers' War will actually be Phyrexian Urza versus Eldrazi Mishra. Hell yes. You know, that would actually be pretty cool if they if like something affected the timelines in the Magic lore, and then you had something like that, like Eldrazi Urza, Phyrexian Mishra. That'd be pretty sick. Like the timelines get all changed, but like in a cool way, and so Ugin just coming back to life. I don't know. That was fine, I guess. Okay. I guess I'll Fury the Karn here. My opponent is gonna have Tron next turn because they got the Expedition map. God's Basement with the 3 months. Thank you so much. 1500 Freddy over here. I don't know what that means, but thank you for the resub. I see you change deck as March kind of buns. I have 4 March in this deck. I'm 4-0. I've also been playing 4 March in Bant Control. I'm currently, I'm 18-2 over the last 4 leagues with that deck. So March is, I think, not buns. But I have 4 March in this deck. I've been really impressed with the card so far. I guess buns can be a good thing. I'm personally a big bun fan. I like big buns, I cannot lie. Any bun enjoyers in the chat? Yeah, known bun enjoyer, aspiring spike. By making any changes to my 75 for Chicago, I'm pretty happy with it at the moment. But you know, I always like to just tweak it a little bit. We'll see. How to get the old board of Prismatic Endings? I was complaining about the lack of Prismatic Endings, or the lack of old border endings being available in chests, and a Wizards employee gave me one, which was very nice. I also have to declare that Luris should not be banned in Modern every 30 minutes, and Ixalan was cool actually is also something they're making me say. Ixalan was cool actually. Known Ixalan hater, aspiring spike. But besides that, that's all I have to do. So I think I'm gonna kill my Teferi. Yeah, but pretty small price to pay overall. I mean, Ixalan had dinosaurs, it had pirates, it had like a giant artifact that was a little bit confusing. It has sexy shirtless Jace, which makes every set better. So yeah, Ixalan, cool actually. I guess I'm gonna Chalice in 1. They've got more expedition maps. I can still cast Flashback Deluge or Cryptic or Solitude here. Yeah, that introduced us to Ragavan, right? Oh, was that set actually? No, I thought Ragavan was on Ravnica. Maybe not. Do I need? I don't feel like I need to do anything about this actually. I can just Fury it next turn. If they get a coding, I just march the coding. I don't think I'm gonna save my Cryptic if I can. Ragavan is Kaladesh. Oh, right. I like Kaladesh a lot. I would like to return to Kaladesh. Can I elaborate on why I think Lure should not be banned on Modern? The script just says it shouldn't be. I don't have anything else written there. I can maybe ask. Oh wait, hold on. It says it's just fine actually. It's fine. How are the Shadow players going to be blue-white control without Luris? The matchup is bad actually for Grixis Shadow, even with Luris. Karn, tank, concede. You love to see it. Okay. It's been a weird league. Kaladesh was miserable design for Standard. I actually really enjoyed Kaladesh Standard. I like Torrential Gearhulk. Sign me up, dude. Sign me up to cast some Torrential Gearhulks all day, every day, baby. I think I'm just gonna play March over ending in this matchup. Then play 3 Force, 2 Wear Tear. Maybe 4 Force, 1 Wear Tear. I used to think Ixalan was cringe, but after Influencer Aspiring Spike told me it was cool actually, I realized the error of my ways. A lot of people in the chat I think are feeling that way right now. Okay, we'll keep this. Well, Definitely a spot where ending better than March. I think I'm excelling my Solitude. It's kind of like Force of Negation the map. No! Don't play Reshaper. Torpor Orb. Interesting. So you gotta expect that they don't have a Thought-Knot Seer in their hand. It is also nice to know that my Teferi can't be Thought-Knot Seered, and the next turn I can go Teferi into Cryptic. But they also have Tron. We'll see what they can do. Smasher. Don't play as Reshaper. Smasher! Spatial Contortion the Smasher! Let's go. 3 damage, baby. It's pretty powerful. I get smashed. So my Fury doesn't have an easy beach trigger. I guess it can if I like get rid of the orb with this or this. Glass. Name Teferi, Hero of Dominaria. So I can go Otawara, bounce Spyglass, Teferi minus on Torpor Orb, cast Fury, kill Karn. It's kind of not great. I think it's fine. At the very least, this feels like my best line. Yeah. With Fury, with Orb in play, you can evoke Fury as a 3/3 double striker. Not that we have a red card in our hand, though. Any key, thank you for the 4 months. Appreciate you. Fury first to lower the cost of Abora. Abora is only reduced by legendary creatures, and Fury is not a legendary creature. But if this was an Uro Fury, like we've been suggesting, then that would work. Because they played Dismember, their hand is currently Sorceress, Spyglass, Mystery card. Imagine they ignore me, or ignore Teferi. Yeah, Furo. The mystery card is something. Chalice on 3. Okay, so I can't Kaheera. I can Fury, I guess. Well, that's all I can do. And then they're drawing Torpor Orb this turn, right? I think it's this turn. Ha! Hope they draw their Reshapers now. Could also have Kaheera. Well, the problem is they've got Chalice on 3. So, like... Yeah, I'm not sure if there's any merit to even Kaheering in the hand. I guess I should, yeah. Flagstones are to sack to the Lotus Fields. Okay, yeah, so they drew this turn. Yeah, still pitches to March and Solitude. March is a very good draw. I'll deal with the Spyglass. Yeah, I'll go ahead and cast this. I guess I should Solitude end of turn anyway because of the orb. Probably should have done that last turn actually. We've got 9 damage to the 2-turn clock for my opponent. Oh. Still a Chalice on 3 in play. Still a Chalice on 3 in play. Pretty wise choice to Chalice on 3. But is my opponent dead to my attack? They are, and we trophy our first league back with Jeskai Lotus Field. Very exciting. I think we're gonna run it back here. I love this deck. This is one of my favorite decks to play. I've been kind of suspecting that it's pretty good at the moment too. March definitely seems like a nice addition. Our treasure chests have been not that good lately. We did open a Kappa Cannoneer lately, though. I got the Fire Ices and the 3rd main.